Ang bawat isa sa atin ay bahagi ng mas malaking kwento. Binubuo ito ng kwento ng bawat mamamayan. Sa 2024 Census of Population at Community-Based Monitoring System, ang iyong kwento ay mahalaga. Ang bawat datos na aming kinokolekta ay magsisilbing gabay patungo sa mas maunlad na Pilipinas. Sa pamamagitan ng tamang impormasyon, maitataguyod natin ang kalusugan, edukasyon at kabuhayan ng bawat isa. Sa PopSen at CBMS, kasama ka sa pagunlad tungo sa makabagong Pilipinas.
request everyone to please rise for the opening prayer, to be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God of all creation, we are standing in front of you as one family, asking for your blessing. May we be blessed by you with strength to face life's changes and hope in your love. We may be different in each other, but remind us, Lord, that we are all one, because we all come from you, our Father. Amen.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم خاصة إياك وحدك نعبد وإياك وحدك نستعين يا الله توحيد شعوب العالم المسلم والمسيح واللوماء منحهم العيش السلمي ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا عن الحق بعد إذا هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار يا أرحم الراحمين يا الله.
Lord, our Creator, how majestic is your name in all the earth. We ask of you today that we may continue to live in your favor and enjoy peace, harmony, and prosperity. May you give your wisdom to the leaders so they may unite its people and be good citizens of this country. We ask for your blessing of peace, love, and joy.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Hayang magiliw, kay masasinananan, alam ng puso, sa titig mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, kuyagan ang magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa dagat ang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ang bagaw, ay hinatang naglakawin sa paglayang inamahal. Ang isang ng matawan mo'y nagumpay na nag-iingin, ang kituwin at araw niya kailan ang ay di magigingin. Luman ang araw ng buwan, hapit pagsinta, uli langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya dapat ay malapit, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
We will now be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our host, Ms. Nicole De Navea.
Good morning, everyone. To our distinguished guests, friends from the media, colleagues and partners from government, and to our online viewers who are watching us live via the Philippine Statistics Authority Facebook page, welcome to the National Press Launch for the 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System. Let us give everyone a round of applause to welcome this event. So today we will be a part of a momentous occasion not only for the PSA, but also for our country and its pursuit to development. First, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed guests who are with us here in this morning. So First off, we would like to recognize the presence of Undersecretary Claire Dennis S. Mapa, National Statistician and Civil Registrar General of the Philippine Statistics Authority. Now representing the Honorable Secretary Arsenio M. Balisacan of the National Economic and Development Authority, Ms. Christine Mamuyak. Now we also have here the Honorable Undersecretary Adonis P. Sulit of the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Good morning, sir. Now we also have a representative of the Department of the Interior and Local Government, LGO 05, Sir Raymark D. Tablanza. Acting Division Chief from the Commission on Population and Development, Ms. Gloren R. Hinlo. Good morning, ma'am. Now, of course, the Honorable Undersecretary for E-Government, Yusek David Almirol Jr. of the Department of Information and Communication Technology. Representing the University of the Philippines Population Institute, Director Elma P. Laguna. Good morning, ma'am. Now for the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute, we are represented by CSS Mana Praxedes Peña. Good afternoon, ma'am. Pinky. Now, last but not the least, Executive Director from the Subdivision and Housing Developers Association, Director Santiago F. Ducay. Good morning, sir. Now, after 5 months of preparation, we have finally reached this milestone. The 2024 POPSEN CBMS is one of the Philippine Statistics Authority's initiative in improving the quality of life for all Filipinos through quality and relevant national and local level statistics. Now, to officially welcome us, may we invite the officer in charge, Deputy National Statistician of the Censuses and Technical Coordination Office, Ma'am Minerva Eloisa P. Esquivias, for her opening remarks. Let us give her a big round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Honored guests, members of the Interagency Committee on Population and Housing Statistics, members of the Community-Based Monitoring System Council, Undersecretary Claire Dennis S. Mapa, our National Statistician and Civil Registrar General, partners from the media, colleagues in government service, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga sa ating lahat, and welcome. It is a pleasure to have you with us today for the national press launch of the 2024 POPSEN CBMS, or the 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System. In the next few days, we will embark on an important mission to gather relevant data that will shape our country's future. The 2024 POPSEN CBMS data will provide us updated population counts for all barangays in the country, an updated list of beneficiaries of government social protection programs. These two big activities will give us a picture of each community and/or barangay, and therefore help us understand their needs and provide government the basis for policies and programs that will improve the lives of all Filipinos. The 2024 POPSEN CBMS is not just about counting people. It is about capturing valuable insights on education, employment, health, and living conditions across the nation. This data will serve as the foundation for effective government planning, resource allocation, and development of programs that will address the needs of our most vulnerable populations. Your role in this undertaking is vital. You have the power to inform, educate, and inspire the public, especially to the members of the media. Your coverage will help ensure that every household understands the importance of the 2024 PAPSEN CBMS and eventually will encourage them to fully participate and allow our enumerators to gather data from them. Together, let us make the 2024 PAPSEN CBMS a success. Your support and participation will help build a more informed, equitable, and prosperous Philippines. Dahil sa PAPSEN at CBMS, kasama ka sa pag-unlad tungo sa makabagong Pilipinas. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for being here today and mabuhay tayong lahat. And for a deeper understanding of what the 2024 PAPSEN CBMS is all about, may I invite everyone to watch our informative AVP. Thank you.
With the passage of the Republic Act 10625 or the Philippine Statistical Act of 2013, the Philippine Statistics Authority was established. The agency, as the central statistical authority of the Philippine government, is primarily responsible for all national censuses and surveys, sectoral statistics, consolidation of administrative recording system, and compilation of national accounts. The law mandates the PSA to prepare and conduct periodic censuses on population, housing, agriculture, fisheries, business, industry, and other sectors of the economy. 2 years after, the PSA led the conduct of the 2015 Census of Population, or the POPSEN 2015. It was the 14th Census of Population and third mid-decade census undertaken in the country since the first census in 1903. Results from the POPSEN 2015 showed that the Philippine population count was at 100,981,437. This was the first time the country hit the 100 million population mark. Aside from conducting its periodic population census, the PSA now also leads the implementation of another data collection to aid in local governance. On April 17, 2019, the Republic Act No. 11315, also known as the Community-Based Monitoring System, or the CBMS, was signed into law. Under the law, the CBMS is defined as an organized technology-based system of collecting, processing, and validating necessary disaggregated data that may be used for planning, program implementation, and impact monitoring at the local level while empowering communities to participate in the process. To establish guidelines for the operationalization of the CBMS in the Philippines, on May 20, 2020, an Implementing Rules and Regulation, or IRR, was signed. The IRR also provides details on the functions of the PSA and other CBMS stakeholders in the implementation of the CBMS. That same year, the PSA also held its biggest statistical activity during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 Census of Population and Housing. The 2020 CPH is designed primarily to take an inventory of the total population and housing units in the Philippines and to collect information about their characteristics. Based on the data, the country's total count grew over 109 million. The 2020 CPH is the Philippines' 15th Census of Population and 7th Census of Housing since 1903. In 2021, the PSA conducted a pilot community-based monitoring system, or CBMS, in 9 cities and municipalities all over the Philippines. Out of the 9 LGUs, 2 funded the conduct of the CBMS operations. These are the city government of Baguio and the municipality of Sual, Pangasinan. About 200,000 households were interviewed from October to December 2021. In 2022, the national government, through the PSA, funded the conduct of the CBMS in 323 fifth and sixth income class cities and municipalities, and those with no classification yet. Meanwhile, 312 first to fourth income class cities and municipalities have funded their own CBMS implementation. In 2023, the PSA provided technical assistance to 46 cities and municipalities in their conduct of their own CBMS. To date, 690 LGUs have been empowered through the CBMS data from 2021 to 2023. On February 20, 2024, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the PSA to conduct a census this year to update the list of the beneficiaries of the social protection initiatives and other government programs and projects. In response, the PSA promptly initiated preparations for this significant undertaking. To optimize government resources, the agency made the strategic decision to advance the Census of Population or POPSEN, originally scheduled for 2025, and integrate it with the CBMS operations. Hence, the 2024 POPSEN CBMS came into fruition. The 2024 POPSEN CBMS represents a key endeavor in the Philippines' commitment to evidence-based program implementation and community development. The simultaneous conduct of the two PSA-led statistical activities aims to capture a holistic understanding of our population and their needs, serving as a crucial data source for policymakers, planners, and decision-makers. Data derived from the 2024 POPSEN CBMS will be utilized by the local and national government in resource allocation and formulation of policies, programs, and projects in various sectors such as health, education, employment, housing, and infrastructure, among others. Information from the 2024 POPSEN CBMS data may also guide private sectors in contributing to social and economic development of the country. Lastly, research and academic institutions may find the 2024 POPSEN CBMS data useful in the facilitation of research, academic studies, enabling comprehensive analysis and informed decision-making. Beginning this July, the PSA will send more than 70,000 enumerators all over the Philippines to conduct the house-to-house interviews for the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. The interview will take from 45 minutes to 1 hour for each household. The PSA ensures that all information pertaining to respondent is strictly confidential in adherence to the Republic Act 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Stringent measures are in place to safeguard the privacy and security of the data to be collected during the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Be part of our nation's success story. Show your support and participate in the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Sa POPSEN at CBMS, kasama ka sa pagunlad tungo sa makabagong Pilipinas.
All right, thank you very much. So thank you, DNS Maned, for your message, and I hope you all had a deeper understanding of this major undertaking of the PSA, the 2024 POPSEN CBMS, with that comprehensive AVP. Now, the conduct of this year's POPSEN CBMS would not be possible if not for our partner agencies that showed their full cooperation and support in this endeavor. At this juncture, let's listen to some messages of support, starting with our mother agency, the National Economic and Development Authority, from the Honorable Secretary Arsenio M. Balisacan.
To our distinguished guests, members of the Interagency Committee on Population and Housing Statistics, members of the Community-Based Monitoring System Council, friends and colleagues from the government, members of the media, good morning. On behalf of the National Economic and Development Authority, I expressed our full and unwavering support for the 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System, or the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Back in 2015, NEDA spearheaded the formulation of the Philippines' long-term vision, the ambisyon natin 2040 o may matatag, maginhawa at panatag na buhay for all Filipinos. The Marcos administration adopted the ambition as the country's anchor for all of our development initiatives. The Philippine Development Plan 2023-2028, our strategic roadmap toward progressively realizing this vision, aims for socioeconomic transformation as we make our society and economy more inclusive, progressive, and resilient. As we continue to track our country's progress toward achieving our development goals, we count on the Philippine Statistical Authority's commitment and dedication to delivering on its mandate of providing accurate and reliable data from censuses, surveys, and other data systems. One of PSA's major censuses is the Periodic Census of Population, or POPSEN. Essentially, the POPSEN is a complete enumeration of households and institutional populations in the country. But why is it important? It is a crucial tool of national and local governance as it provides vital information about our population size and spatial distribution, as well as population socioeconomic demographic characteristics down to the barangay level. The census data are the basis for insightful analysis, decisions, and government policies. In particular, by law, it is the basis for resource allocation of all local government units, or LGUs. The census data are helpful for businesses, development partners, researchers, and individuals. In addition to the POPSEN, the PSA now leads the implementation of the Community-Based Monitoring System, or the CBMS, with the passage of Republic Act numbered 11315, or the CBMS Act. The CBMS, as a technology-based data collection system, also complements our current set of tools by providing data that can be used for planning, program implementation, and impact monitoring at the local level, while empowering communities to participate in the process. Collected information on health, education, employment, and other sectors informs us about the needs and priorities of our communities. Further, the data derived from the CBMS will also help identify the vulnerable sectors and communities that require immediate support and tailor our socioeconomic interventions to be responsive to their specific needs. This year, the PSA integrated the conduct of its two major statistical activities, POPSEN and the CBMS, to improve efficiency in the use of government resources, enhance harmony in the data items collected, and reduce response burden. Hence, we have the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. The data derived from the 2024 POPSEN CBMS will help the government make informed decisions, optimize resource allocation, and ultimately improve the quality of life of all Filipinos. As we embark on this endeavor, let me point out that the work you do here in the PSA plays a pivotal role in shaping our nation's future. Thus, the whole PSA personnel, especially those tasked with the critical and challenging fieldwork activities, our enumerators, supervisors, and partner LGUs, I wish you all success in conducting the house-to-house interviews nationwide. You are providing our nation with great service. Lastly, I urge every Filipino to support the conduct of the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Your active involvement is crucial for building a more robust, inclusive, and progressive nation. To our friends from the media, we rely on your support to encourage the public to participate by providing factual and reliable information. Congratulations! We at NEDA are looking forward to this year's POPSEN CBMS results and insights. Let us work together to ensure the success of this activity sa pakikibahagi sa POPSEN CBMS, kasama ka sa pag-unlad tungo sa makabagong Pilipinas. Thank you and good morning to all.
Thank you to the Honorable Secretary and to our partners from NEDA. Now, let us call on the Undersecretary for Policy and Plans Group of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Attorney Adonis P. Sulit, to deliver the message of support on behalf of DSWD Secretary Rex D. Gatchalian. Let us give him a big round of applause.
Colleagues from the Philippine Statistics Authority, headed by the National Statistician and Civil Registrar General Yusek Lair Dennis Mapa, distinguished guests from other national government agencies, everyone present here, and the Commission on Population Development, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to everyone. On behalf of the Secretary of Social Welfare and Development, Secretary Rex Gatchalian, it is an honor to join you today as we launch the conduct of the 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System. This initiative will be instrumental for the entire government, providing crucial data that will enable the implementation of a more effective and efficient program and services for the Filipino people. The prospects for DSWD are immense. The updated inventory of the population will provide us with a clear picture of the demographic landscape, enabling us to allocate resources more efficiently. Updating the list of beneficiaries will ensure that our social protection programs reach the intended beneficiaries, minimizing wastage and leakages. The updated distribution of shares of local government units in the national tax allocation will promote more equitable and effective use of natural resources at the local level. Additionally, capturing the service facilities and government infrastructure projects implemented by barangays provides a valuable inventory of local assets and development projects. This information is crucial for the DSWD as it enables us to assess the impact of infrastructure projects on community welfare and identify gaps where further development is needed. It also allows for better coordination with local government units in implementing future projects and programs, ensuring that infrastructure developments are aligned with the social welfare needs of the communities. We believe that the CBMS is a critical tool, instrumental in engaging and creating a unified list of beneficiaries. The CBMS empowers LGUs by giving them autonomy to collect the necessary data that will serve as a basis to design appropriate policies and interventions for their constituents, thus making government-led programs tailored fit to the needs of their people. Secretary Gatchalian has always been a firm believer of the significance of the CBMS in the implementation of anti-poverty programs. In fact, when he was the mayor of Valenzuela City, the CBMS was one of the instruments that he used in local level planning, targeting, budgeting, and implementation. For the DSWD and the entire national government, we look forward to using the results of the CBMS, the updated and disaggregated data generated through the CBMS will be useful in our formulation of targeted and responsive interventions for the poor, vulnerable, and disadvantaged sectors of society. Drawing from the experiences gained during the conduct of listahanan, we at the DSWD have learned the importance of accurate, timely, and comprehensive data collection. The 3 rounds of listahanan provided valuable insights into the socio-economic conditions of Filipino households, allowing us to identify gaps in service delivery and target interventions more effectively. We discovered that community engagement and transparency are crucial in gaining public trust and ensuring the success of data gathering efforts. These lessons may be considered as we strive to continuously improve our data systems to better serve the Filipino people through the POPSEN CBMS. Rest assured that the DSWD is in full support to the PSA in the continuous improvement of data collection systems and processes, resulting to updated and reliable data that are used in policy formulation and decision-making, leading to the improvement of the quality of life of Filipinos. Once again, on behalf of the DSWD and Secretary Rex Gatchalian, congratulations to the PSA for ensuring the simultaneous conduct of the Census of Population and CBMS to ensure a cost-efficient implementation. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you very much, Yusek Sulit and our friends from the DSWD. Now, at this point, let's direct our attention to the screen as the Commission on Population and Development's Deputy Executive Director Lolito Tacardon gives his message.
On behalf of our Executive Director, Undersecretary Lisa Grace Bersales, and the rest of the staff of the Commission on Population and Development, we would like to express our full support to the conduct of the Population Census and Community-Based Monitoring System. The population census data and that of the CBMS are crucial in the attainment of the goal of the Philippine Population and Development Plan of Action, which is to optimize demographic opportunity and address prevailing population issues towards inclusive and sustainable development. Para dito, layunin ng CPD at ng pamahalaan na bawat isa ay naisama sa bilang nang sa ganon ay bawat Pilipino ay kasama sa pagunlad. Kaisa at katuwang kami ng PSA sa paghikayat sa bawat Pilipino na makibahagi sa gaganaping population census and CBMS upang magkaroon tayo ng mas matalinong pagbalangkas ng mga pulisiyang nakatuon sa tamang pangangailangan at sitwasyon ng mga tao. Sa paghubog natin ng planado, matatag at panatag na pamilyang Pilipino, atin pong suportahan ng population census at CBMS.
Thank you to our friends from the Commission on Population and Development. Now that we're only 6 days away from the start of enumeration for the 2024 POPSEN CBMS, let's look at a few important reminders on what each and every one of us should watch out for when checking a POPSEN CBMS enumerator. So everyone, let's watch this video presentation.
Ang 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System o ang 2024 POPSEN CBMS ay sasagawa simula ngayon July 15. Hinihingi po namin ang kooperasyon ng lahat sa pagsasagawa ng dalawang statistical activity na ito na pangungunahan ng Philippine Statistics Authority. Ang PSA ay nagtalaga ng higit 70,000 enumerators na mangangalap ng mahalagang datos sa iba't pang bahagi ng Pilipinas. Pero paano nga ba natin malalaman na ang mga enumerator na maglilibot sa inyong lugar ay legitimately hard ng PSA? Tara, samahan niya ako mag-legit check upang masigurong legit ang mga enumerator na kakatok sa ating tahanan. Maaari i-check ang mga sumusunod na verification steps. Una, ang outfit check. Ang mga hard enumerator ng PSA ay nakasuot ng uniform shirt na may logo ng PSA. Nakasuot din sila ng bag at identification card o ID upang ma-establish ang kanilang pagkakakilanlan. Speaking of ID, let's do a quick ID check. Ang ID ay may litrato, pangalan, designation at lagda ng PSA enumerator. Makikita rin sa ibabang bahagi ng ID ang lagda ni Undersecretary Claire Dennis Mapa bilang National Statistician at Civil Registrar General ng PSA. Sa likod ng ID, nakasulat naman ang address, contact number, at emergency contact ng enumerator. Nakasulat din dito ang address at contact number ng PSA Provincial Statistical Office o PSO kung saan hard ang enumerator. Kung hindi sapat ang outfit at ID checks at kayo ay mayroong kutob o duda pa rin sa enumerator na nakausap, maaari rin gawin ang background check. Sa background check, may dalawang paraan para makumpirma kung legit PSA hard ang isang enumerator. Maaari makipag-ugnayan o tawagan ang PSA Provincial Statistical Office sa inyong lugar. Bisitahin lamang ang psa.gov.ph/directory para sa iba pang detalye. Maaari rin kayong magtanong sa inyong barangay upang kumpirmahin kung ang enumerator na nakapanayam ay tunay na otorisado ng PSA. Samantala, narito naman ang ilang paalala ng PSA upang hindi maging biktima ng mga malaloko o masasamang loob. Una, ang mga enumerator ng PSA ay hindi kailanman manghihingi ng anumang konfidensyal na impormasyon tungkol sa inyong bank o financial accounts. Bagamat bahagi ng Household Profile Questionnaire o HPQ ang katanungan tungkol sa formal financial accounts, hindi kailangang hingi ng enumerator ang inyong personal info gaya ng account numbers, passwords, ATM pins, at OTPs. Pangalawa, hindi rin sila otorisadong magsulis ng pera o manghingi ng anumang material na bagay kaugnay sa pagsasagawa ng POPs CBMS. At pangatlo, hindi rin sila pinahihintulutang magalok ng kahit anong produkto o serbisyo na galing sa PSA. Lalong-lalo na kung ito ay mayroong kapalit na bayad. Kung sakali makatagpo ng ganitong enumerator, ipagbigay alam agad ito sa pinakamalapit na PSA office sa inyong lugar. Ngayon, alam mo na kung paano mag-legit check ng PSA enumerator na bibisita sa inyo. Huwag mag-alala. Ang anumang personal na impormasyon na inyong ibabahagi sa ating mga enumerator ay mananatiling confidential alinsunod sa Data Privacy Act of 2012. Lagi tandaan, sa anumang panahon na pagkakataon, tamang impormasyon ang kailangan upang pangloloko ay maiwasan. Maging alerto, maging mapagmatsyag, at huwag magpabiktima. Tara na at makibahagi sa 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Dahil sa POPSEN na CBMS, kasama ka sa pagunlad tungo sa makabagong Pilipinas. Ang pampublikong anunsyong ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Philippine Statistics Authority.
All right. So thank you very much. Now we know when it's our turn to answer. I hope we don't forget the reminders on how to legitimately check or to check if the enumerator is a legitimate enumerator of the PSA. So I hope that also our friends from the media may share this so that many of our public will know these few reminders when we start to conduct the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Now, let's hear another round of messages of support, this time from the members of the Community-Based Monitoring System Council. May we call on the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Undersecretary for E-Government, Yusek David Almirol Jr. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. My good friend, Undersecretary Mapa, mukhang nagkakantsawang kami kanina, mukhang hindi yata matutulog ngayon si Yusek at madaming gagawin. Our good friend from DSWD, Undersecretary Adonis Sulit, Undersecretary Lisa Grace Bersales, Commission on Population and Development, our friends from NEDA, the ILG, the PSA Research and Training Institute, National Housing Authority, University of the Philippines, Population Institute, Subdivision and Housing Developers Association, and other government agencies present today, fellow public servants, magandang umaga po. It's my distinct honor and privilege to deliver this message on behalf of our Secretary Ivan Jan Uy, our leader at the Department of Information and Communications Technology. Our warmest congratulations to the Philippine Statistics Authority on the momentous event, especially on the launch of the 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System, or POPSEN CBMS. The POPSEN CBMS is pivotal in providing us with precise, granular data illuminating not only national trends, but also the unique needs of each barangay and communities. This invaluable resource empowers us to make informed decisions, design targeted policies and programs, and ultimately uplift the lives of every Filipino, leaving no one behind. In the implementation of the POPs and CBMS, the role of e-governance cannot be overstated. By harnessing technology, we ensure that the valuable insights gleaned from the census are not merely data points, but catalysts for transformative change. This activity shall streamline data collection, processing, and analysis, ensuring accuracy and timeliness. It also enhances transparency, making data accessible to the public and fostering trust in government processes. Moreover, technology empowers us to bridge the gap between data and action. It enables us to translate statistics into targeted interventions, whether it's providing essential services to underserved areas, optimizing resource allocation, or creating opportunities for economic growth. With the National ID and the National ID E-Verify that we recently launched together with PSA and DICT, we can significantly lessen the possibility of errors in identification, streamline access to government services, and enhance the overall efficiency of public service delivery. These tools, combined with the rich data from the POPs and CBMS, provide a comprehensive view of the Filipino people, their needs, and their circumstances. This allows us to tailor programs and services more effectively, ensuring that they reach the right individuals and communities, ultimately promoting inclusivity and equitable development. Our vision for Bayang Digital and Bagong Pilipinas is not merely a slogan, but a guiding principle that underpins our very action. We envision a Philippines where technology is not just a tool, but a way of life, empowering every Filipino to participate fully in the digital age. We envision a nation where digital connectivity is widespread, where government services are accessible, and where every citizen has the skill and knowledge to thrive in the digital economy. Once again, congratulations to the Philippine Statistics Authority for this remarkable achievement. Together, let us continue to build a nation where accurate data, innovative technology, and seamless collaboration drive progress and prosperity for all. Sama-sama nating suportahan ang implementasyon ng POPs and CBMS, kasama ka sa pag-unlad tungo sa makabagong Pilipinas. Maraming pong salamat.
Thank you very much, Yusek Dave and our partners from the ICD for this initiative. Now, here's another message of support from the Department of the Interior and Local Government, Assistant Secretary for Plans and Programs, ASEC Francisco Cruz. Let's tune in.
On behalf of DILG Secretary Benjamin C. Abalos Jr. and the entire DILG family, our warmest greetings of solidarity and support to the Philippine Statistics Authority as we launch today the 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System. This event signifies a new opportunity for us to keep up with the Philippines' ever-changing landscape and capture critical data relevant to addressing the issue of poverty in the country. The team sa Census of Population at Community-Based Monitoring System, kasama ka sa pag-unlad tungo sa makabagong Pilipinas, is an apt invitation for our countrymen to join in the implementation of this year's enumeration, which is set to begin this July 15 to September. This endeavor will allow harmonious and future-determined strides towards revitalized programs and projects through comprehensive disaggregated data reflecting demographics critical for decision makers such as basic services, health, and food security. As the DILG sits at the helm of Philippine Statistics Authority Board and Community-Based Monitoring System Council as member, we firmly support this implementation as I recognize that this will promote evidence-based governance down at the grassroots. On the part of the DILG, we are steadfast in performing our duties in publicity and information drive, stringent encouragement on the compliance of local government units, and provision of training among local authorities on how to utilize community-based monitoring system results. In adherence to Community-Based Monitoring System Council Resolution Number 1, Series of 2024, declaring July as National Census and CBMS Month, I invite our kababayans to participate and be cooperative with our hardworking enumerators. We will ensure that you will benefit from sharing your data through the 2024 Census of Population Community-Based Monitoring System, as it will serve as our basis for comprehensive analysis, policy making, and executing informed decision making that would address the actual concerns you are facing. Naway magkaisa tayo sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng ating mga mamamayan tungo sa isang matatag, maunlad at panatag na bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, ASIC Cruz and our partners from the DILG. Now, last but not the least, we have Philippine Senator and one of the principal authors of the CBMS Act, the Honorable Sherwin T. Gatchalian, to give his message of support. Let's watch this video.
Undersecretary Claire Dennis Mapa, to all the officials and members of the Philippine Statistics Authority, a pleasant day to you all. The national press launch of the Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System and the PSS Fellowship provide avenues to discuss and synergize potential collaboration in the Philippine statistical system. As an advocate of evidence-based and data-driven policymaking, I believe that this serves as a significant endeavor that enables us to update our population statistics at both the local and national levels. The data collected will be instrumental in accurately targeting households for planning, budgeting, and implementing programs aimed at poverty alleviation, and will thus create an impact in fortifying our collective commitment to delivering timely, relevant, and accessible statistics for our nation's progress. Through this initiative, we underscore the vital role of accurate and comprehensive data in shaping effective government anti-poverty and social protection programs for the Filipino people. Sa pagtitipong ito, hangad ko na mas tumibay pa ang inyong samahan. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Panalo natin ang Pilipinas.
All right, thank you very much, Senator Win Gatchalian. Now, by this time, we already have a glimpse from our esteemed speakers and guests the objective of this year's PopSen CBMS. Now, let us find out how the data derived from the last Census of Population and Housing in 2020 and CBMS operations from 2021 to 2023 were utilized. To learn more about the PopSen and CBMS data and how these play crucial roles in nation building, without further ado, let us now welcome the National Statistician and Civil Registrar General of the Philippine Statistics Authority, Undersecretary Claire Dennis S. Mapa, for his presentation. Let us give him a big round of applause.
Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. My role here is, of course, to discuss the use of data from the Census of Population at saka yung ating community-based monitoring system. So una, maraming salamat sa lahat sa inyong pagdalo sa official launch ng 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System o yung 2024 PopSen CBMS. To my colleagues from the DSWD, Yusek Ado, from DICT, of course, partner natin palagi, hindi lang sa CBMS but also sa National ID, si Yusek Dave, yung ating kasama sa NEDA, si Christine, and the other officials who are here. We are very thankful, and of course, members of the media. In the next slide, of course, alam nyo, pinost din namin ito noong February 20 sa direktiba ng ating Presidente, Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr., ang PSA ay isasagawa ang 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System ngayong taon with several objectives, but yung pinakauna ay para i-update ang listahan ng mga benepisyaryo ng social protection programs sa gobyerno. No, kaya nandito yung ating kasama si Yusik Ado sa DSWD. No, yung ating listahanan, as mentioned by the good Undersecretary, ito ay ginawa noong 2019, pre-pandemic. So kailangan na talaga nating i-update yung ating list. So that's why there was an order from the President to provide the updated list via the community-based monitoring system. Bukod dito, kasi meron din tayong Census of Population, ang mga datos na makakalap mula sa 2024 POPSEN CBMS ay gagamitin upang ma-update ang national and local population statistics. Siguro gusto ko lang i-explain, nagkaroon tayo ng Census of Population noong September 2020, again at the height of the pandemic. While wala tayong problema doon sa national count, yung ating 109 million na populasyon, nakita natin na nagkaroon tayo ng internal migration. Marami ang mga taga-syudad na umuwi at nabawasan, in other words, yung population ng mga cities. Now, nabilang naman itong mga umuwi doon sa kanilang mga munisipyo. Kaya nakita natin na may mga pag-akyat doon sa population based on the count versus the projection sa mga municipalities. Now, ngayon, dahil bumalik na naman uli sila, kailangan na naman nating i-update ang ating population. So that is basically the part of the Census of Population. Ang mga datos na makukuha natin dito ay makakatulong sa ating pamahalang lokal, especially local government units sa pagbuo ng kanilang mga programa at serbisyo. Ang paggamit ng POPSEN, una, ay marami tayong mga programs dyan. I would just like to cite some of them in the next slide. Noong kasagsagan ng COVID-19 pandemic, no, kung naalala nyo, mayroon tayong Bayanihan 3, no, yung Bayanihan to Arise as One bill, at nagkaroon tayo ng ayuda, binigyan, kung naalala nyo, 1,000 peso per household member. At ang source talaga ng data na yon para doon sa mga munisipyo ay yung Census of Population and Housing na galing sa 2020. So very important yung population count, no, sa mga times na kung saan mayroon tayong crisis. Ito ay nagpapakita, no, ng importansya ng tamang bilang ng populasyon sa ating crisis management plans. Pangalawa, ito yung aming tinitingnan ngayon, no, yung Birth Registration Assistance Project. Doon sa Census of Population and Housing ng 2020, nakita rin namin kung ilan ang walang birth registration. Kasi mayroon tayong tanong doon kung mayroon ka bang birth registration. Ang bilang ng ating mga kababayan na may birth registration as of September 2020 ay nasa 96.6%. So 96.6% sa kanila ay mayroong birth registration. So in other words, kung babalik na rin natin, 3.4% ang walang birth registration. So based on a population of about 109 million, ito ay mga 3.7 million. 3.7. Now dahil nakita ng Philippine Statistics Authority sa datos, kasi malalaman natin saan ba yung barangay, saan yung mga munisipyo, yung mga cities na marami ang walang birth registration, kaya nagkaroon kami ng Birth Registration Assistance Project. Tiningnan namin sa tulong ng ating local civil registrar office, nahanap namin sila. Ang nahanap namin ngayon ay 1.4 million na mga individual na talagang nagsabi wala silang birth registration, no? At of course, kailangan nating i-verify yung ating yung 221,000 ay mayroon pala silang rehistro sa Philippine Statistics Authority. Hindi lang nila alam. Pwede na narehistro sila sa ibang bayan, no? So at least na-verify namin na mayroon pala kayong birth registration and they're able to access the birth certificate. But the more than 1 million, almost 1.1 million ay wala talagang birth registration. At ito yung tinulungan ng Philippine Statistics Authority, katulong ng ating local civil registrars. At dito, tuloy-tuloy ito, nabigyan na ng birth certificate with the help of the local civil registrar, yung mga 283,000, 26% of those identified na walang birth registration. And tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ating pag-assess sa kanila para mabigyan sila ng birth registration. So ang aming expectation is that by 2024, kasi meron din tayong tanong uli dito sa ating census population, kung mayroon kang birth registration, at ito ang expectation namin na itataas tayo kasi mayroon tayong target dito sa ating Civil Registration and Vital Statistics Decade in Asia Pacific na by 2024, dapat 99.5% of our citizens ay registered sa birth. In the next slide, ito naman yung mga programa na natulungan dahil sa datos ng community-based monitoring system. Sa pamamagitan ng CBMS, alam natin na mayroon tayong 619 na local government units ang nakilahok sa community-based monitoring system in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Kanina, in-explain ng ating Deputy National Statistician, noong pilot, 2021, 9 LGUs yung ating kinover. Noong 2022, mas marami, 635 LGUs. At noong 2023, 46 LGUs. Itong 2024, ay i-cover natin lahat ng mga LGUs. 1,634 LGUs plus yung bagong 8 local government units sa BARM. So i-cover natin lahat yon. In the next slide, ito lang yung mga examples na natulungan dahil sa datos ng community-based monitoring system. Ito yung data na nakuha natin. So let me just cite yung local government of Suyo, Ilocos Sur. Ginamit ang datos ng community-based monitoring system upang masolusyonan ang problema sa sanitasyon. Kasi mayroon tayong question dyan on may access ka ba sa sanitation. Layunin ito na magkaroon ng zero open defecation. Pagkatapos ng data turnover, nakita ng ating mayor doon sa LGU ng Suyo, Ilocos Sur, hinanap ng local government unit ng Suyo ang mga bahay na walang proper restroom facilities kasi identified sila at binigyan sila ng high-quality sanitary toilets. Ang report sa amin, 18 na kabahayan sa munisipyo ng Suyo, Ilocos Sur ang nabigyan ng bagong toilets. At ito ay na-identify dahil doon sa datos mula sa community-based monitoring system. Ang isa pang example sa munisipyo ng Agutay, this is in Agutaya, Palawan. Gamit ang CBMS data, this is a island, parang island municipality. Gamit ang CBMS data, nakapag-identify sila ng 1,457 households na live-in ang marital status kasi mayroon din tayong information doon sa community-based monitoring system na makita ng kanilang alkalde ay nag-organize ang local government unit ng mass wedding. At noong kami ay bumisita, nag-report na 37 couples ang naikasal ng libre dito sa munisipyo. Again, utilizing the data from the community-based monitoring system. In the next slide, ang Baguio City, gamit ang CBMS data, ang Baguio City ay nagpatupad ng kanilang ADB, Assisted Fecal Sludge Management Plan. Ito ay isang ehemplo ng practical na aplikasyon ng CBMS data para sa isang informed decision-making. So, we turn over the data sa Baguio City at dahil doon sa datos na nakita nila ay nagkaroon sila ng intervention. In the next slide, sa Bayugan naman, Bayugan City in Agusan del Sur, ginamit nila ang datos na nakuha mula sa community-based monitoring system upang makapagbigay ng health services na suportahan ang teenage parents sa community. Kasi again, naka-identify uli, so nagkaroon sila ng targeted intervention for the health services gamit ang datos mula sa community-based monitoring system for Bayugan City in Agusan del Sur. In the next slide, ito yung mga examples na makukuha natin sa community-based monitoring system. So hindi lang po ang ating mga data collectors, hindi lang po nagko-collect ng mga informasyon dahil gumagamit po tayo ng technology, gini-geotag natin yung mga households, so naka-identify yung kanilang coordinates. So dito sa munisipyo ng Santo Lucia sa Ilocos Sur, ginamit ang CBMS data upang malaman kung ilang pamilya ang napaktuhan ng Bagyong Egay noong 2022. No? Dahil mayroon tayong geospatial data mula sa community-based monitoring system, mas napadali ang pag-target at pag-identify ng mga beneficiaries. So, itong map na to ay isa ito sa mga output ng community-based monitoring system which we share to our local government unit. Ang isa pang aplikasyon mula sa Santa Lucia, Ilocos Sur, sa pamamagitan din ng ating pag-geotag, nalalaman kung ilang households ang nasa loob ng 500-meter buffer zone dahil ng geotag, no? 500-meter buffer zone sa mga geotag evacuation centers kasi yung mga services, government services ay naka-geotag din. Nagamit ito ng local government unit ng Santa Lucia ang naturang impormasyon para malaman kung ilang households ang nangangailangan ng tulong para mag-evacuate. No? So nandyan yung ating buffer zone, 500 meters, which we can increase or decrease, no? Dahil doon sa ating information on geotagging. In the next slide, maaari ring ma-map ang ating, using our CBMS data, maaaring ma-map out kung malapit ba sa health center ang ating mga households. Again, using geotagging as part of our activities. And I think the last one, in the next slide, nakikita rin natin, malalaman natin ilan ba ang mga bahay, kabahayan na may miyembro tayo na may disability. Dahil mayroon din tayong tanong, no, doon sa community-based monitoring system. So ito yung ating information, yung kulay orange ay yung mga households with at least one PWD member at yung green naman ay walang PWD member. And we can also do that in the next slide para naman sa senior citizens living alone, no? Dahil mayroon tayong data on the age. So mga kabahayan na may senior citizen na sila na mag-isa ay mamamap out din natin using our CBMS data. So ito yung mga examples ng ating paggamit ng community-based monitoring system. So ano yung mangyayari pagkatapos ng ating data collection? Kanina nasabi, yung ating data collection will start this Monday, sa Lunes na po, July 15. So more than 70,000 data collectors will be visiting the households mula July 15 hanggang September 15. Yun yung ating schedule. Okay? Ayon sa batas, yung population count ay kailangan nating isumite kay Presidente sa loob ng taong 2024. So by December, mayroon tayong updated population count for 2024. No? And then next year, yung mga regional, provincial, municipal data. But by this year, the entire population count will have to be released. No? Ang CBMS naman, kasi dalawa yung component, ano? So yung census of population, yung population count. Ang CBMS, data, ang community-based monitoring system data, ibibigay ng PSA sa ating National Economic and Development Authority technical team para naman sa kanilang pag-process ng data gamit ang proxy means test. Ang proxy means test ay isang statistical model na gagamitin para mag-identify kung sino ba yung mga vulnerable households. No? So ibibigay namin sa NEDA ng December. Ito ay magkakaroon tayo ng proxy means test na model at ang pagkatapos noon ay makikita na natin sa mga households sino yung mga vulnerables na identified using the proxy means test. Ito naman ay ibibigay ng NEDA at PSA sa DSWD. Ang target ay first quarter of 2025. We will have a new list of households for social protection. So yan po yung ating nakalatag na plano para dito sa POPSEN and CBMS. Ganon din, pag natapos na natin yung mga datos, ito ay ibibigay din natin sa ating mga local government units kasi yung ating community-based monitoring system data ay pag-aari ng ating mga LGUs. So ibibigay namin yung data doon sa bayan-bayan kung saan kami kumolekta ng ating datos mula sa community-based monitoring system. So yan po yung ine-expect natin mula July 15 hanggang end of the year para dito sa ating 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System. Maraming salamat at ako'y humingi ng suporta mula sa inyong lahat, no, para tulungan ang Philippine Statistics Authority dito sa isasagawang 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System. Magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Thank you very much, Undersecretary Claire Dennis S. Mapa of the PSA, for sharing with us the good news that comes with the conduct of the 2024 POPSEN and CBMS. So, ang dami po, no, very jam-packed yung presentation ni Yusek Dennis, and I have a lot of takeaways po, no, following the presentation. So one of which is really the objective of the POPSEN CBMS is to really update the list of our beneficiaries, no, for the social protection programs. And in the presentation, we also saw how data really transform the lives of Filipinos. So again, reiterating and echoing the call of Yusek Dennis, we hope that we will be fully supported by your agencies and of course our media partners in this major undertaking of the PSA. And now, we have come to the highlight of this event, the ceremonial launch of the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Now, this activity symbolizes the coming together of all the agencies that poured their unwavering commitment and support into this endeavor. The collaborative efforts between the PSA and our partner agencies are truly instrumental to the success of the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Now, for the first batch, may we call on Ms. Glorin Henlo from the Commission on Population and Development here in front. Our representative from the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute, Ms. Maria Praxedes Peña. Ms. Raquel Patio of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. Our very own OIC DNS Minerva Eloisa P. Esquivias of the Census and Technical Coordination Office of the PSA. And finally, Director Santiago F. Ducay from the Subdivision and Housing Developers Association to join Undersecretary Claire S. Dennis Mapa on stage for the ceremonial launch, to be followed by a photo opportunity. All right, now may I ask our honorable guests to start pouring the sand for the second batch of our ceremonial launch. Undersecretary David L. Mirol Jr. of the DICT and the Honorable Yusek Adonis P. Sulit of the DSWD. Our representative from the National Economic and Development Authority, Ms. Christine Mamuyak. And LGO 5 Raymark Tablanza as a representative for the Department of the Interior and Local Government to please join our officials on stage for the launch. All right, now can I request our esteemed guests to once again start pouring the sand as a symbol of launching for this major undertaking and pledge of your commitment to the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. There we go. All right. Thank you very much, officials. Can I request you to please give your containers to our secretariat for our photo opportunity? Secretariat, please. All right. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let us give a big round of applause to our officials for the ceremonial launching of the 2024 PopSense CBMS. Now may this be a sign of our continued and strengthened partnership to achieve our goals in realizing the 2024 PopSense CBMS. Yeah. At this juncture, now may we request Undersecretary Claire Dennis S. Mapa and OICDNS Minette Esquivias to join us for the open forum. The floor is now open for our questions. Now, to our friends from our media, please kindly state your name and your news organization first before asking questions. Thank you very much. Now, may I ask anyone from our media guests this morning on any questions? May we also request the presence of ANS Christine Joy Briones to join us on stage for any questions on the 2024 PopSense CBMS. All right. Any questions from our media partners? Okay, so I guess I can jumpstart po, no? So, all right, we have a question. Thank you.
Hi, sirs, ma'am. Ako po si JC reporter ng TV5. It was mentioned earlier na yung interview sa bawat household will take 45 minutes to an hour. Siguro yung mga household lang yan, abala. Ano pong thoughts niyo dito?
Yung 45 minutes to 1 hour. Ito depende naman ito. Pag maraming members ng household, ito ay syempre mas aabot doon. Pero kung konti naman, mabilis naman itong process natin. Pero kailangan talaga natin na mag-cooperate sa ating mga surveys ng Philippine Statistics Authority. Marami tayong mga surveys na ginagawa under the Philippine Statistics Authority. Hindi ito nag-iisa, no, yung census population and the CBMS, but we are doing surveys on prices, labor force, saka yung iba pa, agricultural statistics. At yung mga information na to ay talaga nakakatulong para sa ating pagplano. Ano, information din, hindi lang sa gobyerno but also sa household. So we are asking for cooperation. No? Ito ay while ito ay 45 minutes, konting abala, but we hope that the household head or yung respondent ay mag-participate sa ating 2024 PopSense CBMS. Thank you very much.
Sir, follow lang. Doon po sa mga may agam-agam na mag-participate doon sa survey.
Okay, sabi nga kanina, ang ating datos ay mayroon tayong adherence to the data privacy. Ito ay gagamitin para lang sa pagplano, hindi naman ito gagamitin sa kung anumang bagay, no? We assured and we are always doing this censuses and large survey dito sa Philippine Statistics Authority, and we are always protective dun sa information na binibigay ng aming mga respondents. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the question from our media partner from TV5. Next, si ma'am po muna and then followed po by ma'am. Parang nauna po siya, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning po. My name is Luella Desiderio. I'm from Philippine Star. Just curious, sir, nakikiusap po tayo na mag-participate yung mga tao. But just curious, is there an option, let's say it goes to my house, is there an option for me to say no? Or am I required? And if I say no, meron bang, I don't know, nasa batas po ba, will I be punishable? Is it punishable by law to say no? Thank you.
Dalawa kasi itong ating component, no, yung census. So yung census talaga, kailangan mag-participate kasi kailangan natin mabilang ang ating miyembro ng households, no? So doon kailangan tayong mag-participate. Dito naman sa community-based monitoring system, meron tayong data consent form kung saan tinatanong ka if you are willing. But of course, we are really encouraging everyone to participate. Sa ating 650 or 90 na mga LGUs, no? Mataas po yung ating participation rate kasi nakuha naman natin na yung 9 LGUs noong 2021 and then yung 635 LGUs noong 2022 plus yung 40 plus LGU noong 2023. mataas po yung ating level of participation. Yung response rate natin ay mataas.
Just to follow up, so since it's required, is there like a penalty if someone refuses, for example?
Under the law, mayroon tayong penalty, but right now I don't really want to go there. No, I will encourage the respondents to participate. But ayon sa batas ay mayroon tayong kaparusahan. Although hindi naman yun, encouragement na ginagawa ng Philippine Statistics Authority talaga para ikayat yung ating mga kababayan na mag-participate dito sa census.
Sorry sir, I know you don't want to talk about it, but I guess just to parang drive the point, ano ba yung punishment if ever?
DNS minute.
May fine po ba?
Wait lang.
I
get, yeah.
Can you cite mayroon kang
Penal.
we will before the forum is over. Okay, first time ko itong basahin, no? Yung failure or refusal to participate or to provide accurate information may result in penalties as outlined in the Republic Act number 10625, that's the Philippine Statistical Act of 2013. Individuals who fail to cooperate with statistical inquiries may face imprisonment of a period of 1 year and a fine of 100,000 pesos. So yan yung penalty natin. Actually, it's the first time that I read that provision because my stand as a researcher is really for the household to cooperate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much from our media partner from Philippine Star. The next question po would be from ma'am.
Patricia Lopez from IBC 13 po. Since nagte-take po ng matagal tong interview na to, meron po bang specific household?
Pumupunta ang ating mga enumerators, mga data collectors natin, so nagbibisita. May mga panahon na pag pumunta yung ating data collector ay available yung household. Siyempre, kailangan mo na magpaalam doon sa community, barangay chair. Kaya kanina, nasabi na kung mayroon kayong tanong, pwedeng mag-verify doon sa barangay chairperson. Kasi alam ng barangay chairperson na nandun yung ating team ng Philippine Statistics Authority. Usually naman, of course, yung availability ng household respondent. So may mga panahon na pag dumating yung ating data collector, nandun siya at available siya. Kung hindi naman, may callback naman tayo kung kailangan siya available.
Thank you very much. We have a question from, I think, GMA.
Hi, good morning. Nating ko GMA. Sorry. Yeah, sir, nabanggit ninyo na, well, pati na rin dun sa video kanina na, they're not gonna ask for your account numbers, ATM, credit card numbers, OTP, and all of that. Pero siguro for those na first time itong mararanasan, yung pagkuha ng census, even if binabanggit na mag-a-adhere sa Data Privacy Act, siguro just to be very categorical about it then, the same manner na diniscuss natin yung penalty kahit hindi yun talaga yung tahak ng census, ano yung information na households can expect to be asked of by the enumerators and information na pwede nilang sabihin, ako ibigay sa'yo yan, bakit ko ibibigay sa'yo yan? Like, I don't know, other than bank information or financial information?
Wala tayong bank information. Yung sa financial inclusion yata na module, tinatanong lang may ka bang bank account, may ATM. It's basically yes or no. Mayroon akong bank account. Yun, yung information about the financial or wala tayong ganong detalye. Demographic, of course, ano yung pangalan, ano yung address, ano yung edad ng mga membro, empleyado ka ba, saan ka nagtatrabaho, are you a farmer, a fisher folk, or kung saan community. Ito yung mga basic na mga questions. Yung tanong na binibigay na hiningi namin sa community-based monitoring system sa census, ito rin po yung mga tanong, related questions na kinukuha natin sa iba pang mga surveys ng Philippine Statistics Authority. So, mayroon tayong mga questions na basically housing characteristics. Makikita natin yung iyong bahay ba ay yung iyong roof ay ano yung made of, yung wall, mayroon ka bang access water. These are questions na typical na tinatanong doon sa community-based monitoring system and sa census population and housing. Karamihan dito ay observable din. Yung nakikita talaga ng ating respondent. No?
Sir, follow-up question. Yung, ano yung pwedeng gawin or ano yung pwede ninyong sabihin siguro if syempre merong situation na uneasy yung household with the enumerator. Halimbawa, pakiramdam niya na kasi nga meron ng mga personal information, pangalan, tas nandun na sa bahay, tapos biglang private pala yung family, pero they're required to participate in the census. Kung merong uneasiness of feeling yung household na baka yung information na nakuha sa kanila baka dalhin for possible identity theft? Ano po yung gusto ninyong sabihin sa kanila?
Ang Philippine Statistics Authority is isang professional organization na nangongolekta ng datos. We are adhering to the United Nations Fundamental Principle on Official Statistics. There are 10 principles at isa sa principle na yan ay yung confidentiality. So very strict yung confidentiality ng Philippine Statistics Authority. But of course, I agree with you, pwede na may agam-agam ang isang tao. Kaya nga sinasabi namin kanina, kung sa tingin mo na ay parang hindi ka na, let's say may question ka doon sa data collector natin, mayroon tayong mga numbers na binigay, pwede na kausapin natin yung ating provincial head, no, through either telephone or a visit para masigurado na yung information talaga ay papasok lang sa system at hindi i-share sa anumang bagay.
Sir, I'll just try to drive the ano ko lang, sir. Can you ask for a different sorry, if hindi ka komportable doon sa data collector na unang pumunta sa iyo, can you refuse that collector and ask for another one na mas palagay kang magbigay ng personal?
Ano naman yon, yung ating teams ng mga data collectors natin ay mayroon tayong supervisor, no? Yung structure natin ganito, yung sa ilang data collectors? Sa 5 data collectors natin, mayroon tayong isang team supervisor. So yung team supervisor na yan, siya yung nag-check sa ating mga data collectors na assigned sa isang barangay, for example. Mayroon pa tayong area supervisor na nag-supervise din sa mga data collectors and team supervisor. At of course, we have our focal person. Ito na yung nasa provincial office ng ating Philippine Statistics Authority. So any one of them ay pwedeng maka-interview doon sa ating respondent. So tama ka, kung hindi ka comfortable doon sa data collector, ito ay i-report sa team supervisor at pwede na baka comfortable ka sa team supervisor. Kung hindi, mayroon pa tayong area supervisor.
Sorry, one last, sir. Kasi meron bang situation na yung data collector kung saan siyang household naka-assign, biglang kamag-anak pala niya yung kanyang sinusurvey? And ano yung usually ginagawa pagdating sa ganun?
We are kasi ang mga data collectors natin doon din sa bayan na kung saan tayo magsusurvey para alam nila yung lugar, so pwede yon, at ito naman ay nakikita ng ating team supervisor at area supervisor, so pwedeng magkaroon ng pag-switch doon sa assignment, pero definitely ang ating mga data collectors ay doon nakatira sa bayan kung saan sila nagko-kolekta ng datos para alam nila yung lugar.
Thank you very much, our media partner from GMA7. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am, please.
Hello. Good morning, Yusek. Luisa Oxon from Business World. Yusek, just to clarify, I don't know if this was mentioned earlier. What's the target number of households to be surveyed? Thank you.
Ang ating household projection ay nasa between 26 million. Ang last kasi namin na estimate, 27 million. 27 million. So, mga ganong number. Of course, sa ngayon, bago matapos yan, may mga housing units tayo na nabibuild. So, yun pupuntahan din namin yun. Pero that's our estimate in terms of number of household, 27 million.
27. And Yusek, one last follow-up. Just curious about the overall cost of how much the census. Thank you.
The budget for the 2024 POPSEN CBMS is 5.2 billion pesos. Ito yung minerge namin kasi nga ang census normally ay malaki ang kanyang budget kasi nga i-cover lahat. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng maagang pagkolekta ng datos para dun sa census of population. By the way, yung Medicaid census talaga ay nakaschedule 2025. Pero dahil nga magkaroon tayo ng community-based monitoring system, tulad nung sa mensahe kanina ni Secretary RC, para magkaroon tayo ng efficient use of government resources, minerge na namin yung census of population sa yung community-based monitoring system.
Thank you very much, Yusek, for that. I think we have another question from our media partner.
Po. Hello po, NS. Lady Vicentia po from ABS-CBN. Ask ko lang po, NS, para po dun sa mga gusto rin mag-legit check, meron din po bang days or anong oras po i-expect po dumating yung ating mga enumerators? Kasi baka may possible na meron dating ng gabi. Is it legit? Tsaka po, will they be asked to present IDs? Thank you po.
Tama yun, yung ating mga data collectors Monday to Saturday, yung kanilang schedule, ito ay umaga. Nagsisimula sila ng mga 8 o'clock. Pero kadalasan, depende kasi sabi ko kanina, pwedeng may mga callback na sabihin na mas maaga, pupuntahan siya ng 7 o'clock kasi minsan baka may lakad. May iba rin na nagpapaschedule sila na sabi nila, nagtatrabaho kasi sa gabi. Pero nakaschedule yun, ito yung tinatawag natin callback by appointment. At kung kailangan na linggo on schedule, pupunta rin yung ating mga data collectors. Pero ito yung schedule na ibibigay ng ating respondent. So normally pupunta sila dyan, sabihin na may trabaho kasi, balikan mo na lang after ng office hour or di kaya ito ay available lang kami pag Sunday. So magsischedule yung ating data collector ng time na yun. But the regular schedule is Monday to Saturday, 8 to 5.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Morning po, Pamela Vasquez from Radyo sa Istrenta. Sir, curious lang po ako since you've mentioned yung mga tagatanong and yung mga yung nagpapanggap or yung mga imposters, sir. Umabot po ba sa point na parang na-alarma po yung PSA with your previous gatherings, and how do you deal with it po, and possible penalties po doon sa mga nagkukunwaring taga-interview po doon sa PSA?
Yung mga parang mga enumerators namin.
Yes, sir.
Una, mahirap mag-interview ng ating mga respondent. So, wala pa kami na experience na nag-i-interview siya, nag-act siya as data collector, no? Saka sabi ko nga, malalaman mo naman kasi mayroon tayong mga ID, yung kanina. And pwede nyo ma-check kasi yung ating questionnaire, nandun sa tablet niya na nakuha. So ang question na may mga experience ba kami na nagpapanggap na data collector, so far wala pa kami nakuhang report sa field. Thank you.
Yes, sir, please.
Sir, to clarify lang, if andun ako sa bahay, uunahin yung census, no, na required. Tapos pwede akong tumanggi dun sa CBMS. Tama?
Mayroon tayong data. Ang una talaga, first part is the census, tama ka. Tapos dun sa questionnaire, mayroon tayong question dun sa consent. No? So doon tayo for the CBMS part.
At saka sir, last, since you flashed already yung mga uniform, ID, baka magaya na yan, meron pa mga safeguards on this to ensure na legit yung mga enumerators po natin?
kanina sa pag-explain, sabi ko nga, kung sa tingin nyo talaga, yung may pagdududa kayo, mayroon tayong mga numero na naka-plus at ibibigay namin ito. Ito yung mga contact numbers ng ating provincial office. At ang pinakamalapit talaga yung barangay natin na officials. Kasi bago kami pumunta, yung mga data collectors kasi namin, hindi pupunta diretso sa mga bahay. Ito yung nagpapaalam sa ating mga barangay officials na mayroon tayong operation itong araw na ito. So pag talagang machi-check natin. Ang iba dito ay sinasamahan din ng ating mga barangay officials na para ma-introduce. Lalo na kailangan kasi namin yung tulong ng mga barangay officials para ma-identify kung saan nakatira yung mga ating respondents, particularly dun sa rural areas. So kadalasan may mga kasama tayong mga barangay officials na kakilala ng ating mga respondents.
Sir, follow up lang sa tanong ni JC. So, is it the rule rather than exception na laging may kasamang barangay yung nagsisensus as a security safeguard for the household?
Ang ating policy ay magpapaalam sa ating barangay officials. Nagpapatulong kami kung ito ay let's say hindi namin mahanap yung mga bahay. Ito yung nangyayari sa mga rural areas and even sa urban kung masyadong malaki ang area. So doon kami nagpapatulong. Pero yung policy talaga is that we are coordinating with the barangay officials. So they can check with barangay officials if there is operation in the area.
Sir, para lang sa expectation ng household. So pag pag may magse-census sa lugar nila, para malaman nila or maisip nila na legit yon, bukod dun sa ID, outfit, and yung folder na dala, kailangan ba yung data collector may kasamang taga-barangay or pwede silang maglakad mag-isa?
Ang aming mga data collectors ay mayroon tayong dalawa yung process natin. May individual na yung data collectors nagbabahay-bahay siya lang mag-isa. May ibang data collectors natin na yung ibang areas na tinatawag nating team approach. So may mga team approach. So, ibig sabihin marami silang data collectors para ma-cover yung isang area. Sabi ko nga, ang aming protocol ay we are coordinating with the barangay officials. So if the respondent feels na hindi mayroon siyang tanong, ang una niyang pwedeng puntahan ay yung mga barangay officials na nandun lang sa area. I hope that answer your question.
So it doesn't follow na hindi porket mag-isa lang siya hawsyaw yan.
Hindi po. Sabi ko nga marami tayong checks on the data collectors, kanina sinabi. Baka pwede nating habang nagla-lunch tayo pwede nating ulitin 'yon para ma-check talaga. Makikita nyo yung data collectors namin, yung kanyang gamit ay naiiba, yun talaga. So you will see, but again, as I mentioned, if you have questions, the barangay officials can really help you because that is the first set of officials that we approach when we go to your area for data collection.
Sir, phone-in question, one last. Meron po ba kayong lugar na punteriya for day 1 of data collection?
This is a nationwide survey. Kanina sinabi, mayroon kaming mga 70,000 data collectors. And they are all covering all the 1,634 local government units. Kasama na po yung bagong 8 LGUs sa BARM. Naka-identify na rin kasi yon. So it's a simultaneous. Sabay-sabay lahat. Walang mauuna. Ito ay, kasi lahat sa ngayon, ang ating ginagawa, itong week na to, last day ng training ng mga data collectors na para doon sa malalaki. Nag-start kami ng training last week para doon talaga sa data collection. So by Monday, we're good to go. You expect a visit dito sa ating mga more than 70,000 data collectors nationwide.
All right, thank you very much. I think that would be the last question from our media partners. If you have additional questions on the 2024 POPSEN CBMS initiative, you may forward them to the PSA so that we can answer it offline or following this open forum. Now, to formally end the program, may we invite our PSA officials to stand here in front and the esteemed guests for the signing of the Pledge of Commitment. So each one of them will be given a tablet and stylus to affix their digital signature affirming their support to the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. So once again, may we call USEC MAPA, our representatives from the DICT, DSHUD, OICDNS Esquivias, guests from PSRTI, UPPI, to please stand at the left side of the stage. Now, our dear guests from NEDA, DSWD, CPD, NHA, DILG, and SHDA to stand here at the right side of the stage. Now, yeah. So our esteemed guests will be guiding you. Our esteemed guests will be guided by our Secretariat and Floor Director. All right, can we move here po sa stage? Can we request pa? Yeah. Okay. All right, all our guests are now in position. Sabay-sabay po natin siyang pipirmahan. At may signal po. Okay. Let's give a few moments po as we distribute the tablets to our esteemed guests. Alright, sabay-sabay po tayo magsasign. Alright, so now, to our esteemed guests and officials, you may now sign the Pledge of Commitment. Let's give him a big round of applause, boss. They signed the Pledge of Commitment for the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. All right, thank you very much to our esteemed guests and officials. Let us all give them a big round of applause, po, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you. And that wraps up our program this morning. So once again, on behalf of the Philippine Statistics Authority, I would like to thank our esteemed guests, members of the media, colleagues, and friends from the government, and online viewers for joining us today. This has been Nicole Nevea. This is the National Press Launch for the 2024 POPSEN CBMS. Thank you and happy lunch to everyone. We'd like to announce po the lunch is served po at the other side of the room po. So the Secretariat po will usher you po to the